Item 8.4, remove from the table and consider enacting an ordinance amending Chapter 1, Title 12 of the Enid Municipal Code, 2003, to add definitions, remove definitions, repeal sections 1-12-2 through 1-12-14, adopt state of Oklahoma and federal law regarding discrimination, and to add sexual orientation as a protected class only with regards to employment practices of the City of Enid and its trust authorities.
Mr. Mayor, since this item is a tabled item from a previous meeting at which it was discussed, I would like to make the motion that we suspend discussion and debate on this issue and move immediately to a vote.
Just before we do that, we need to remove from the table.
I move to remove from the table.
Second.
Motion has been moved and second to remove from the table. Are we okay?
Yes, you can, well, you can take a vote on the removing from the table.
Yeah, I seconded it.
Are we
We have to
voting?
remove it from the table
Just
before we can do
voting to take
anything
it off
else.
the table.
Okay. Was that your motion?
Yes.
Yeah, just to remove it from the table.
Motion by Ben, second by Tammy. Please cast your vote. All right, now we can get down to business.
I would re-up my motion then.
I'll second.
Yeah. David, please restate your motion.
My motion is that we suspend debate and discussion on this issue since it's previously been presented and move directly to vote.
I have a problem with that, Mayor, because this is a different item than was presented to us
We have a
last meeting.
second on the motion. Are we going to discuss it?
We have to have a second
I thought
before
we
we
got
discuss
one.
it.
I second.
Rodney seconded it.
I thought we got a
We
second.
have a motion by David and a second by Tammy.
No, by Rodney.
Rodney? Now, comments.
I've got some questions about the item itself, and I'd like to get answers to before we vote on it.
When I have some comments to make as well, so.
I will say this was, we did discuss this last meeting. The effect of the ordinance is really the same, but the language at the request of Commissioner Jansen and Commissioner Stuber was simplified. Andrea and I talked a couple times over this week, and there was an outdated process, a pseudo-judicial process without any teeth that dated back to some point in the 1970s, which was the whole entirety of our anti-discrimination policy. It's long, it's convoluted and confusing and caused a lot of confusion in the community. What we have put forth tonight is totally ditching that entire chapter with that pseudo-judicial process and no real teeth to it. All we're doing is, and Andrea, jump in if I misspeak here, but all we're doing is saying that, we don't discriminate for City of Enid employment, that we recognize the classes protected by state and federal law, and as far as employment protection goes for City of Enid workers, just City of Enid workers, we also recognize sexual orientation. Is that basically it, Andrea?
That is it, yes.
With as simple language as we can possibly
Yes.
put together.
I have a point of order. Motion was to suspend comments. Does that refer to us as well as?
I would agree. I was about to make the same point.
Oh, I didn't understand.
Yes, that does apply.
Well, then we have no business making comments.
I still have
If we're going to
questions.
vote on that motion.
Correct.
Can't even ask questions?
Not if we're voting to suspend comments.
But we haven't voted on it yet.
I'm not going to make any comments. I just have a question about the motion itself.
Yeah, you can make a question
Okay.
or ask a
Well,
question.
I went through all of this, and it looked like, as he described, we've struck out everything. You go clear through this, it's all struck out, clear down here until we get down.
Mayor, I'm going to have to call point of order. I believe that request for suspending debate is something that requires immediate vote. It's not subject to discussion. If we're going to continue to debate this, they're welcome to vote down my motion, but I'm
Okay.
going to call point of order that this is out of line.
Okay.
Is that correct?
So
Yes.
we're voting to
Yes.
suspend discussion and vote.
You're voting to suspend discussion and move to a vote.
Discussion meant.
Whatever your vote is on this particular motion does not affect what your ultimate vote is on the ordinance itself.
Okay.
Say that again, please.
You're voting to suspend discussion and move to a vote. Whatever you vote on Commissioner Van Hooser's motion to suspend discussion does not affect how you will then vote on the ordinance. So you could disagree and want more discussion now, but still approve the ordinance later. It's two separate votes is all I'm trying to say.
So when the
Two
next-
separate votes.
So when the next the next part comes up to vote on, then does that mean there would be no discussion on that
Yes,
as
it
well?
does. Yes.
Or just, okay.
I don't think so. I mean,
We're not, this is not debatable.
If this motion's defeated, then we would have an opportunity to debate it.
Yes, if the motion's defeated, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Ready?
Please cast your vote. Motion carries 5-2.
This is a commission vote anyway.
I move we approve the ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the ordinance by Ben, second by Tammy.
I still have a question.
Questions? Yes, sir.
Okay, now we can ask questions. If you get clear down here to the end, I'm, you know, where the actual issue is, in item 1-12-3, it says that protected classes, the city of Enid hereby recognizes all classes of individuals recognized by the state of Oklahoma or the federal government as protected classes with regard to employment practices of the city of Enid and its trust authorities only. The city of Enid hereby recognizes sexual orientation as a protected class. Do we have a definition of what a protected class is?
I think we're under the same responsibility to vote on it, and then if it's approved, then we discuss that. Help me if I'm wrong.
I can present this ordinance without discussion and public comment. So, and I think I can answer Commissioner Jansen's question. What this does is it adopts state and federal law for the city of Enid, for all of the city of Enid. But what it does only for the hiring practices within the employer of the city of Enid, and that's the difference here, the city of Enid employees, and for the trust authorities, is it recognizes sexual orientation as a protected class. And yes, there is a definition of protected class. I have added a definition.
I must have missed that.
The definition of protected class is a group of people protected by law from discrimination or harassment based on their membership in that group. I've also defined sexual orientation, and I've defined discrimination. Those are the only three terms that will be defined in this new ordinance, and the ordinance, the particular part about sexual orientation applies only to the employer of the city of Enid and its trust authorities. So it will apply to city employees and trust authority employees only. This does not apply to any other business, church, or anything else in the city of Enid.
I mean, is everybody then in a protected class?
No, no. Protected classes are age, sex,
Race.
Everybody
Race.
has age, everybody has sex, you know, go on. I just,
No, the federal government has defined certain individuals. For example, females can be a protected class. Different races can be a protected class. If you're over the age of 40, you're in a protected class. Those things, they're clearly defined under state and federal law, and what this does is it adopts state and federal law as it may change from time to time, and it just carries those classes over to the city of Enid. That's all. The only thing that it adds is the sexual orientation, and only for the city of Enid. That's it, only for the employees.
okay.
Is it in order for us to ask questions?
No?
No.
Because you guys.
Who made the motion? Who made the motion?
Ben,
I made the motion, Tammy seconded.
Would you repeat that,
I
please?
move to approve the ordinance.
a second.
Call for a vote, Mr. Mayor.
Please cast your vote.
Thank you.
Motion motion is defeated 4-3.
File and disgusting outbreak.